Welcome back, guys. In the last video, we created the login page, and actually we edit the login page and the register page to actually have a different interface than the default and the Laravel default interface. So in this video, we'll be building the user page, and we'll actually start coding in this video. So let me just log in. Let's just wait for that to load. Loading. Yeah. So I have an account already, so just going to log in with that. Just loading. I don't know why it's taking this long. Yeah. So in this video, we'll be creating this profile page, which is actually not linked to any other page right now. So let's just create a route for that, and let's create a page for that. So I think we should create a controller for that too. No, let's just create a controller first. I think we need to create a view, we create a route, and we'll create a controller. We already have the user model right here, and yeah. So I think we just need to create the controller, we need to create the view, we need to create the route. So if we should go over to I'm just going to create the resource controller. So to do that, you use the command php make controller, and I call this user controller, and it's going to be a resource controller. Yeah. So what this resource controller actually does is that, unlike the normal controller where you just have the class written there, no default method, this user controller will actually create some default method for us with default routes that we can use for in our projects to just make everything faster and make more sense. So if I should come to the controller, so I have the default index, create, store, and show, edit, and the rest of it. And this method actually have default routes, different default routes that has been assigned to them, and so but we still need to bring it in the web.php file, and there is something we really need to fix here. In Laravel 8, the namespace for the model has been changed. In Laravel 7, it was provided before, but now you have to comment it out, and I need to go to route service provider, and right here in the protected namespace you have to uncomment this to actually go to look into this folder for your controllers. So we've done that, and I can actually create my route now, and I'll call this resource controller, and I'll call this user. It's okay the way it is now, and this is now linked to our user controller. Everything we do is in our user controller. But what I want to do actually is I want to use I want to create another route to use that controller, and I'll say this will be a get route. I don't need that. I don't need this. Just Control Z. And this will be profile. I'll call this profile. And I want this to use the user controller. And I'll use a method that I'm going to create right now called profile. And I'll give it a name of user.profile. And what the method is actually going to do is it's just going to take us to the profile. So we have to create the method right now. Now I'm just going to separate this from I'll call this user method. I call it user defined method, whatever you need, whatever you like. This is going to be a public method, public function. Sorry about that. And this will be profile. And the only thing this method is just going to do is it's going to return a view called profile. So I'm going to have a profile folder. And inside the folder we have a file called index. Maybe do this. So the next thing we need to do is we actually need to create that view right now. So if we should come to our resource folder. Here we need to create the folder that will specify earlier, which is the profile. And right here we need to create the file. I'm actually just going to duplicate this page right here. I'll say Ctrl+Shift+S, that's to save as, and I'll bring it right here and I'll say index. So this page right now is not the profile page, and you can verify this with by just putting something here. Let's just say profile. So the last thing we need to do before we view what we just did is come to the layout, the admin. We need to actually link the navigation to the route we just created. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So route, let me just say user dot profile. Sorry for the typo. I don't know what's wrong with this Virtual Studio Code. So hopefully this makes sense, and we should refresh the page right now. Hopefully we don't get an error. Loading, yes. And the profile is now linked to the profile. If we should click on it, yeah, you see the profile right here. So everything works very good. And I'm going to pause the video right now, and I'm going to put in some HTML code right here. So this is what the page looks like right now. I've brought in this actually a row with a column of about 3% about 3%, 30% of the whole row, and this about 70%. That's just some bootstrap styling, so you can look that up. check it out if you're free. And this is what the code actually looks like right now. And don't worry about this code. It's going to be in the project file, so you can just copy and paste. So for now, this code doesn't really do anything. Doesn't do anything at all. We're actually going to be doing that. Right now. So because we've not update our profile to have a phone number, we've not created the roles. I'm just going to mute this out and mute these two. I'm just going to comment them out, and yeah. So we are okay. The next thing we need to do now is to actually submit this form to update the user's profile. Hopefully that makes sense too. So we can get, I think we still have time. Let's just do this in this video, and in the next video we can talk about editing or changing the user's password. So in this form, I actually want to submit this form to a route right here. Then just copy and paste this, and I'll call this will be a post request. So this will respond to a post request, and this too will be a post. Yeah, post. So right there in the page right there, let's just say routes. Honestly, I don't know what's happening with my virtual studio code. So post request. So this will respond to a post request, and I want this method to leave because we're not actually doing anything to it. And I haven't created this. Method. So post create this. So we have to create the method right now, and public function post profile. I think that's the name we gave it. Yes, and this will take the request class and put it in a request variable. Let's just test this out and just say dd $ request. So what this is actually going to do, this is actually going to bring out all the inputs for us, and when we click the button, it's just going to bring out all the inputs. And let's just refresh this page. And I just enter random dates and click update. So we have the array of data right there, the inputs the user gave me. Hopefully this makes sense, and we can actually start working with input. So the first thing we need to do is actually check for validation, because we don't want a wrong set of data to be passed into our database, because we've actually created our database to respond to some certain set of data type. So we don't want an invalid data type sent to our database. And to learn more about validation in Laravel, just check their documentation. I think I will have a link in the description for this video for that. And to do that, you just have to do this. This is actually referring to the class, and you say validate, and you give it the request variable, and so the next thing this validation class is going to take is the request array. So we need to give it that. So this is going to be an array, and I'm actually going to respond to name. And the reason why I'm using name is if you check your form, I give the name a name, and the email name of email, and phone number a name of phone. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I want the name to be required. That's all I want it. That's all for the name, and I want the phone number to also be required. And the last thing I want the email to be required. I also want it to be unique. First, I want it to be an email type, so that if the user enters an input that is not an email, it's going to give the user an error. And I want it to be unique. So I want it to be unique to a table. That's what's here. I want it to be unique to a specific table, to a specific column, then except because we are updating a user, so we need to pass in a user ID. Set that user already have the email, then it can go ahead and save the data. So hopefully that makes sense to you, and if it doesn't, you should check the Laravel documentation page. So this will be table user colon email colon, and except I'm just going to merge this together. This will be a set to the user ID. Hopefully this makes sense. Yeah. So we don't have the user ID right here, but I'm just going to create the variable. Just going to say user is equal to the authenticator user, and that's all. So we have the user variable right here, and yeah. So if the user pass all this validation, I just want to call the user and call the update function, and I'll say, and I will update all the requests. So let's just say $sign, and this will take all the requests. And this will update the user profile now, and I want to return a redirect. I want to return a redirect, and I will be redirecting the user to a specific route. Okay, don't let us redirect the user to a specific route. Let's return the user back to the page they are coming from. So I want to respond with a success message saying your update was successful or something like that. So this will carry two arguments. The first argument is the type of message you want to display. So I will be displaying a success message, and I'll say profile successfully updated. So this is all we'll be doing. Let's just test this out. Just say 7 blah blah blah. Yeah, this profile has been updated. You can see the phone number right here. It's not the form is not being empty. That means the phone number is saving, and you can actually check this in your database. So I'm actually going to check my database right now, and right here, I'm going to uncomment the phone. I'm going to uncomment this. So if we should refresh right here, yeah, we are getting the phone number. So this is not a valid phone number, it's just random testing data that I love to do a lot. So I think this is our database and users. So you can see the phone number. Phone number has been updated, and there is one thing I want you guys to notice right here is the phone number is an extra field that I'm adding to the default migration provided by Laravel. So in this, you actually need to add it to your available array. You need to add it to the fillable array so that it will update. If you don't add it to the fillable arrays in your user model, it won't update. So you need to add it right there. So we've successfully update the user profile, and if you notice something, the success message that we are outputting is not showing. So I'll fix this in the next video. The success message is not showing, and I still have the page title as Laravel. So I'll be fixing this in the next video, and this video is taking too long. So bye guys, see you next time.